In this video, we're going to be giving an overview on the FAQs and erratas that were released today for Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game. Hey guys, how you doing? Top Table Steve here, and welcome to another Middle Earth SBG video. In this video, we're going to be looking at the FAQs and erratas which were released today, and just going over a few of the main ones. And some of the talking points, some of the ones that jumped out at me. There are plenty more which I won't cover in this video, which are pretty basic. I'll just clear up a few things. Do check those out. I'll put a link in the description below that will take you straight to the page with all the PDFs on. So, before we jump into the video, if it's your first time watching a Top Table Game video, please consider clicking the subscribe button. We have loads and loads of Middle Earth SBG content in our back catalogue, as well as other systems, 40k and the like, so check that out. And also, if you're subscribing, if you click the bell button, you'll be notified every time we release a new video. As well as that, guys, do search us on Facebook. We are under Top Table Gaming Community. We have one of the nicest gaming groups on Facebook, in my biased opinion, but it's great. We're just smashed 1,500 members a couple of weeks ago, and it's still going strong. And we have got a massive amount of hobbyists, painters, gamers, you name it, it's on there. Very, very friendly and very, very welcoming. So do check that out. Join in the group and get involved in the chat. There's loads of things that you can be joining in on, loads of competitions and things like that. And we talk about the content which is coming up on the channel, so that's great too. Do check that out. So today saw a release of the FAQs and erratas for Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game. It's nice to be doing a video which is Middle Earth based. It seems like it's been ages. We've not had much going on in the community, obviously with COVID and everything like that. All the events have been cancelling left, right and centre, and we've not had any releases. I'm still keeping everything crossed for hopefully this week. We're due the new AMA model, which is absolutely stunning. We've got a book coming out which is the best of all the White Dwarf articles, which I think we'll probably get alongside AMA, and then possibly after that we'll get a quest for the Ring Bearer. I think once we get a quest for the Ring Bearer, we may get a couple of surprise releases with that, because we're also expectant of the new Ranger models, and I think we might, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, get a load of fancy pants new models with quest for the Ring Bearer. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, and I'm hoping they make my dreams come true. But yeah, let's see what happens. So straight into the FAQs and erratas. What I've done, I've made notes. I've been very organised. I'm like a newsreader. I've just made a couple of notes of the obvious ones, which we'll talk about, which Facebook has been alight with this evening. And then just some of the others that jumped out at me, which I think are either an interesting talking point, or just nice clarifications on things that was missed out in the rule book in the original. So let's jump straight in. So one of the things that has caused a big hoo-ha on the internet, and before I get into it, I think I'll just say I'm on the fence with this. I need to see proof one way or the other. I'm swaying towards that it might have been nerfed a little bit too much, but we'll see. I don't know until I see it played. I'm not going to judge. So, gambling. I'll read how it was put. Gambling, Royal Standard of Rohan. Change the second sentence to read, additionally, a single Rohan model within 3 inches of the Royal Standard of Rohan, at the start of the turn, that has no might remaining may automatically add 1 point of might to their store. What this obviously states and means, if you didn't understand me sort of stumbling through that sentence, was in the past, gambling's banner, the special rule for the banner was that anyone who was within 3 inches of gambling and was out of might each turn could gain a point of might. So if you had 3 or 4 heroes around gambling and they were all out of might, each of them would gain a point of might. Now, for gambling's costs for himself and the banner, it was a little bit OP. A very cool rule. I just want to put that out there. Loved this rule when it first was announced, and I think it was the rule that it kind of strong-armed gambling back into the game. Gambling is one of those models that you very rarely see, and this rule made him a sort of an auto-include, if you like, for a lot of things. I think people would build the list around gambling. I have a half-painted Rohan army, and one of the first heroes that I painted was Gamling. I think I used Gamling actually once, not to good effect. I got him killed like turn 1 by EARTH crossbows in one of our videos where I played. Who did I play? Was it Ben? It might have been Ben. I just left him out there like an idiot, and he got shot and died. But anyone who's got any skill with Rohan will know that this was a very, very powerful rule. Especially in the late game, having a hero that can give heroes back might, a cavalry army back might, to making sure they get heroic moves and they get those charges off in the late game is huge, huge. So I understand why they've done it. Instead of everyone getting it, now only one hero can get it. So you can only give back 1 point of might per turn. It kind of makes sense straight off the bat, but I'll break down my thought process for it. So let's use a game that's going to last, say, an hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours, right? An average game is going to be played 600-700 points. Those games rarely go above 5 turns, very rarely. Especially if you've got 2 players know what they're doing, they're quite methodical about what they're doing in position and things like that. It's going to be rare that you're going to get more than 5 turns. I think turn 1 and 2, Gambling's Banner's not going to get any use, unless you're doing like heroic shoots with a hero with a bow. I don't know why you would, like turn 1 and 2, but you might do. But let's just say like your normal sort of cav armies. Turn 1 and 2, you're not going to use it because your heroes have already got might. It's going to be like, you're going to get, I think, max 3 turns where you get 1 point of might back. So that's 3 points of might. Is the extra points for that royal banner worth 3 points of might? Or would you bin gambling off and get 1 or 2 more heroes that already have that might? I think it's a fair question. I think it's that would be where we'd stop seeing gambling. I think in lower points games is still quite viable, but I think that the higher points games you're probably better off being hero heavy. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do get involved in the chat below. I'd be really interested to hear what you would say, because going through these, I will miss stuff. I'll miss stuff off, stuff that, you know, simple stuff that's just, oh yeah, what about, I forgot about that. Oh yeah. So do get involved in the chat and let us know. So that's Gamblings. That's the change to gambling. It's a big change. It's a big change. I'm not sure how they could have. I mean, I suppose they could have said up to 2 heroes. That would still make him good and not overcosted. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But do let me know. I'd need to see it in game and speak to someone who's played it in the previous incarnation and who will play it now with the new errata. So yeah, if you're a Rohan player, definitely get involved in the chat. So the next big thing which everybody was talking about and was pretty much the only thing that I could see when I was scrolling through the Great British Hobbit League and over on Top Table was the changes to demo charges. So what I've got is the change to the ruling and then just some clarifications on the existing rules. So I'll start with the change and then I'll just basically drop through the clarifications. So the change is as follows. Demolition charges. Detonating the charge, add the following after the second sentence. A model may only attempt to detonate the charge if the resulting explosion would affect at least 2 enemy models or an enemy siege target. Meaning there must be at least 2 enemy models within 2 inches of the charge to detonate it. On the face of it, you think, yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But it brings up a few things. First and foremost, just to be that guy, why on earth would the Uruk-hai demolition team not want to detonate the charge on one model? Why? In other words, they get charged by a model, or they're about to get charged by a model. Why would they allow that to happen and be saying to themselves, let's wait till there's his mate comes, and then we'll try and detonate it. That's been silly about it, but it kind of makes sense, right? The other thing is heroes, big heroes. A lot of the time, I've not played with or against demolition charges, but I've seen them played at my last event last December, which was so long ago. There was quite a few at the event, and I've seen them being used, and they were used with good effect to kill big things, namely big heroes. Big heroes now have there's no risk to charging a demo team. If a hero on his own runs towards a demo team to charge it, they can't detonate the bomb. They can't defend themselves against that, which feels a bit off. It does say two enemy models or an enemy siege target. So siege targets are fine. The other thing that this throws up is big targets like Smaug. Mummox I think we're okay because they're classed as siege targets from what I can make out. I'm not sure about Smaug. Maybe there should be some wording or an FAQ that Smaug is classed as a siege target in correlation to the rules for demolition charges, and that would clear that up, because it just makes no sense that you wouldn't try and kill Smaug with it. And if you've got an Uruk force and you've got a couple of demo teams or even one demo team and you're playing against just Smaug, it's redundant, it can't do anything. So that's a bit odd. Yeah, it's strange. I understand why they've done it, and the reason that they've done it is having the two enemy models within range, I think, is to stop you killing yourself. Now, anyone who's quite new to the game is watching this video and saying, well, why would you kill yourself? Some scenarios, you may be playing the game and you're up on VPs, so you're winning the game, and the game does not end until one of the forces reaches 25%. So you need to kill 75% of your own army or your enemy's army. You might think, well, it's easier for me to kill 75% of my own army than it is the enemy army. So they blow their own army up. It was a tactic which was widely used in the event scene. It's not something I don't think you come across in friendly games, but it was widely used in the event scene. And yeah, it was used to good effect. It was a good tactic. It was a bit of a naughty tactic, but it was a good tactic. You know, why not, right? So I understand why they've done it. For me, I just add a couple of things to the wording. I'd keep it as it is because I think it stops that happening, which is a thumbs up. I would say two enemy models, or an enemy siege target, or enemy monster, or enemy hero. And if not enemy hero above a certain tier. I think that would solve everything and just pretty much make that perfect. Again, comment down there, let me know what you think. So there was a few FAQs to do with the demo charges, so I'll just go through them. They just clear up some things that needed clearing up. When a bomb is dropped, can it be dropped only touching one of the bomb carriers, or must it be dropped touching both? The answer to that is when the bomb is dropped, it must be placed touching both of the bomb carriers. The only exception is if one of the bomb carriers is slain, in which case the bomb is dropped touching the remaining bomb carrier as close to where the slain bomb carrier was. Now this, again, it solves the problem of gaining inches with the bomb. So if you've got a player, if you've got two bomb carriers, one at the back, then bomb, and one at the front, and that's where you could get with your movement. In theory, you could place it in front of the front guy, and you're gaining. It's an extra 2 inches really, because you count his place. If you only had to place it with one, you're gaining. So you're not gaining now. That clears that up, and it stops any sort of grey areas where you weren't too sure. And the fact that it's just been clarified now and it's in black and white is great. That's fantastic. I think that's how most people played it anyway. But yeah, it works. Can a demolition charge be placed overlapping a model's base? The answer is just no. Makes sense. We can't overlap bases. It's not cool. Does a single successful fate roll prevent all wounds suffered from an Isengard demo charge, or just one? Just one. Normal fate roll. One fate roll stops one wound. So you'd have to roll multiple fate rolls if you've got them to stop multiple wounds. Yeah, it makes complete sense. And the last one on this: when a demolition charge detonates, do you measure from the center of the charge or from the edges of the charge, meaning the base? Measure from the edges of the demolition charge. Yep. Just close that up. That's fine. And they're the two big subjects. I would really like to see what you guys think. There's been loads and loads of chat, and even if you regurgitate what you've already said on Facebook, do whack it in the chat here, because I'll read them all, and I'm really interested to hear people's thoughts on it. I'm really interested to hear if people disagree with my views. It's always nice. Every day's a school day. Every day you learn every day. There's loads of stuff that I forget or just don't know, so please do get involved and comment in the chat below. Okay, so let's get on to some of the more random stuff. And again, there is more than this. This isn't all it was. Do check out the link below for the community page to see them all. Question: does a model that has been paralyzed need to make a courage test for being part of a broken force, and do they still provide a Stanfast? The answer is no to both questions. It's nice that it's cleared up. I think for players that have played for a while, you kind of know that. But yeah, it's nice that it's cleared up, because to be fair, it can be one of those questions where when you're in a tournament setting and you're playing, sometimes your brain just has a fart and just doesn't know what you know. You don't know the answer to simple questions. So the fact that it's in black and white, big thumbs up. This is an interesting one. In a historical alliance between Azog's Legion and Azog's Hunters, if I choose Azog or Bolg as my leader, but I take them from the Azog's Hunters list, do they still gain the Master of Battle as per the Azog's Legion army bonus? The answer is no. They will only get the Master of Battle if they are taken from Azog's Legion. Really nice that it's been cleared up. I've kind of seen these army lists being used in that way, and I've never, not that I've ever felt like I need to do something about that, I need to fight the good fight, but not being able to say, well, actually you can't do that because if you read here, it's kind of an interpretation thing. Different people interpret. Remember what I said about brain farts? Interpret things in different ways. So it's nice that that's been cleared up. I don't think it was a massive advantage, if I'm honest. I mean, yeah, it's Master of Battle. It's cool, right? It's fairly big, but I don't think it made a massive difference. I don't think it didn't make that list broken or anything like that. But it's nice that it's been straightened out. How are models that cannot normally be directly affected by magical powers that would prevent them from moving, such as Smaug or the Mummock, affected by special rules that would make them suffer the effects of the Paralyzed magical power, but that technically aren't magical powers, such as Mirkwood Spider's web or Shelob's caught in the web brutal power attack? The answer to that is models that cannot be prevented from moving, such as Smaug or the Mummock, will be unaffected by special rules that make them suffer the effects of the Paralyzed magical power. So yeah, they're basically saying those models, they can't be paralysed, can't be anything that makes them move, it's not happening. Again, just clarification, cleared up, boom, nice. Put it in there, it's there, it's in black and white. So, because that will come up, and I think I've seen that come up, because but it's not a magical power. It's not a magical power, so you are paralysed. This spider web, this spider, which is a 20th of the size of that Mummock or Smaug, has threw a web at you and you're now paralysed. Made no sense, but you know, rules is written and all, so it's nice that that's cleared up. This is just clarification on a subject where when the model came out there was all sorts going on, and rightly so. It was quite difficult to get your head around. So if Mary dismounts from Durnhelm, does she immediately revert to the Eowyn profile? Yes, the Durnhelm profile is only used when both Eowyn and Mary are mounted together on the same horse. When it's there in black and white, it makes complete sense, and you think, how did I ever think otherwise? But sometimes you do. So that's been cleared up. Can a model with a 1 ring put it on if they have already been charged that turn? No. No, 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 no. You've been charged. You can't do nothing. And then the final one, again, it's to do with the 1 ring and being invisible. If a model fails its courage test to charge an invisible model, can it still move as normal, including charging a different target? Now the reason that I put this one on here is because actually I would have played it the wrong way. So that's quite interesting. The answer is yes. Unlike a courage test to charge a terrifying model, this courage test is simply to see if the model can see the invisible model. As such, if a model fails its courage test, it only means that they are unable to locate the invisible model and may continue the rest of their turn as normal, though they may not attempt to charge the invisible model again that turn. I would have treated it like a courage check to charge a terrifying model, and obviously it's not. It's far from it. It's totally different. It's just you take the courage check. They're using the courage check as a tool to see if you can see the model, because there is no rule for it. So yeah, the fact that it's there is great, fantastic. Overall thoughts of the FAQs and errata? All good, all positive, all a step in the right direction, clearing up these little things that come up in games and putting them down there in black and white, so there is no rules as written, rules as intended arguments is always a good thing. The only thing that I think is a little bit needs wording a little bit differently is the demo charge rule, and whether maybe just adding to it, I think like I mentioned, siege target, monster or hero, because just having two models within 2 inches could be quite tricky to maneuver and manipulate your enemy to be in that position. I think it'd be a lot easier for your enemy to make sure he's not in that position. But yeah, other than that, great. The gambling thing, I just need to see it played out before I pass judgment. I assume the Middle Earth I can't get my words out tonight. Middle Earth team have dry tested these rules and play tested them and had people play testing them. So I'm sure they know far better than I do. So, but it'd be nice to see how that plays out. That is it from this video. That is all the erratas and FAQs that sprung to mind and jumped out at me. Is there any that I didn't cover in this video that maybe you want to highlight? Please comment them below and we can have a chat in there and get involved anyway. If you like this video, please do click the like button, and again guys, subscribe and also share the video. Put this video out there in your local little groups. We want to get that following back there for Top Table and Middle Earth. I cannot wait for Quest for the Ring Bearer. It's going to be amazing. The new AMA model it's going to be fantastic. I think we are going to be trying to do anyone who watches battle streams in Middle Earth, and if you don't watch battle streams in Middle Earth, you should be watching it. It's every other Sunday over on the Great British Hobbit League. Myself and Mr. Damien O'Byrne, we stream for about 4 hours where we paint a model to do with, have I got any on my shelf? No, oh, they're all on that shelf over there. The old magazines, Battle Games of Middle Earth. We reminisce, we talk about the magazine, we talk about chocolate, we talk about what we're drinking. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun than it sounds. Check it out. So yeah, I can't wait to get into some more Middle Earth stuff, and hopefully next week we will see some releases. AMA is top of my list. So guys, that has been my overview of the FAQ. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, keep washing your hands, and we'll see you in a Middle Earth video very, very, very soon.
Thank you for watching this video. We hope you've enjoyed it. Here at Top Table Gaming, we love bringing you content that you are going to enjoy. So don't forget, check out everything else on the channel. Have a bit of a look around before you disappear and watch your next video. We've got everything from unboxings, product reviews, battle reports, and everything else in between. So do have a good look around. Now, I do want to, before we carry on, give a huge, huge shout out to our patrons, which you should be able to see on screen. Without them, we couldn't do any of this. They help us fund the lights, the kits, the studio, and everything that is helping us create content and push forward for you as a channel. We don't hide the content behind a paywall, but we do have benefits such as free dice and free t-shirts for our patrons as a way of us giving back, as well as regular giveaways. So if that sounds good to you, do go and check out the Patreon page, link in the description below. And before you guys head out, make sure you head over to the Top Table Gaming community on Facebook. We've got over 1,500 members now, and it is such an excellent community that you should totally be a part of. Check out these videos on screen now, and until next time, enjoy your hobby.